everybody, and welcome back to Out of Body 31 Days of Halloween. We are getting down to the wire, you guys. Tomorrow is Halloween. Are you guys excited? Like, I'm excited. So today I'm going to be doing a Haunted Memphis episode, and this one is on the Brinkley Female College. Now, fasten your seatbelts for this one because this has a very bizarre story. Now, the Brinkley Female College was originally built as a house back in 1859, and it was built for Colonel W.J. Davie, but after the Civil War, they turned it into the college. Now, supposedly, the original owner eventually went bankrupt and went insane. Similar to the Old Brick Church video that I did earlier this month, this particular building has hauntings that date all the way back to the 1800s. And back at that time, the stories were going around so much and it was becoming really well known. And actually some people in the area didn't even want to go out at night. Now supposedly the ghost that haunts this building is that of Lizzie Davie. And in 1871, someone who knew the Davie family actually confirmed that a girl by that name in the family did die in 1861. They even remembered attending her funeral and said that they remarked about her wearing this beautiful pink dress and pink slippers, which apparently was her favorite dress. So the story begins in February of 1871 when a girl by the name of Clara Robertson was playing the piano upstairs. She was a day student and she was 12 years old at the time. Now while she was playing, she ended up seeing this ghostly girl with sunken eyes and a skeletal face. Now she felt like the age of the girl that she saw was 8 years old, and she described the ghost girl as wearing a dirty, torn pink dress, and it was covered in mold. She had rusty shoes, and she had stockings covered in mildew. So if you remember what I said earlier, some people that knew the family that went to this girl's funeral remembered that she was wearing a pink dress. So that's part of why they feel like the ghost that this other girl, Clara, saw was actually the ghost of Lizzie Davie. So when Clara realized that the girl was transparent and that she must be a ghost, she screamed, obviously, like anybody would. She ran into one of the bedrooms and climbed into bed with one of the other girls and got under the covers. Now apparently the ghost followed her in there, walked up to the bed, and put her hand on the pillow that Clara was resting her head on. Eventually, the ghost leaves the room. So Clara ends up telling some of her classmates what she saw, and of course, they don't believe her. So she ends up going home upset. She does return to school the next day and just assumes that maybe it was a prank from the other students. Now, 2 days later, she's in the music room with a couple of her classmates. She appears again. It's not really confirmed that the other two girls actually saw anything. They must have experienced something because at that point they believed her about seeing the ghost. Supposedly Clara was the only one that could actually see her. Maybe the other two students just kind of sensed something or heard something. So the girls got scared, of course, and left the room, and then they decided to come back to the room. And when they did, the ghost was still there, and Clara claims that she saw the ghost point south and tell her that there were some treasures buried 50 yards from the house, and she wanted Clara to dig up the treasure, and then she disappeared. So after that, Clara's father ends up making a visit to see the principal and talk with him, and after that, Lizzie appeared to Clara again and told her that she didn't mean her any harm, but that she needed to dig up the treasure, and that if she didn't dig up the treasure, that Lizzie would not do any good to or for anyone. So whatever that means, I guess she was gonna do some bad things or be more malicious if Clara did not do what she said. So the ghost continues to explain to Clara that the reason why she needs to dig up these treasures is that within the treasures contain some papers that have to do with the deed to the house. She claims that the people who own the house after her family obtained it illegally somehow. She wants that corrected, and she wants Clara to have the papers in her name and resume ownership of the property. Which, when you think about that, that's kind of crazy. Like, Clara's 12 years old. How's she supposed to own a property? Now, when this was going on, like I said, this was in the 1870s. So this was in a different time period. Now, in today's time period, things might go a little bit differently. But back at this time, Clara's father actually decided to then go ahead and hire a medium and have a seance. So during the seance, Clara was actually there, and Lizzie ended up taking over Clara's body and scribbling notes on paper to try to get messages. And they got some messages, all right. So one of the main messages that came across was that there's this treasure and it's buried inside of a glass jar under a tree stump on the property, and it contains some gold jewelry, a diamond necklace, title papers to the home, among lots of coins that supposedly are worth thousands of dollars. Now, word got out about this, and people were curious and wanted to know more about it. And so when they actually went to start digging for this treasure, there were people watching that came from all over the area, I guess, just came to watch them dig. After they found the tree stump and they started digging, and after they removed the tree stump, they actually came across like a layer of bricks. And at that point, Lizzie appeared to Clara again and said that Clara needed to dig further, that she wouldn't allow anyone else to dig for this treasure, only Clara. Now, Clara goes to try to dig and then she faints. So they have to stop digging and resume another day. So instead of just trying to dig another day, they actually do another seance. And the father asks if he can recover the items instead of Clara, and the ghost agrees to that. So when they started digging again, they actually did find a large glass jar. It was 12 inches tall and 10 inches wide. When they dug it up, they could see that there were some bags inside and an envelope. Now, according to the ghost instructions, she told them not to open the jar for 60 days. Why, I don't know, but they were supposed to keep it sealed up for 60 days. The whole town knew about what was going on, or the whole area that this house is located. So unfortunately, 4 men came and robbed Mr. Robertson, Clara's father, at gunpoint and made him show them where the jar was, and they stole it, and it hasn't been seen since. Now, after this, they did try to do some more seances to try to locate the jar, but not really to any avail. I think at one point Lizzie had said it was at this certain place, and then they looked and it wasn't there, or maybe they just didn't follow through. I don't know, but either way, it's still lost, and I just hate that. It makes me wonder, like, what happened to it, if this is a true story even. I mean, supposedly it is, because there's crowds of people that were there that witnessed it. So if it was true, it just really makes me wonder, where is it? What happened to it? What did they do with that? Especially the papers to the college. Like, there were title papers to the building. What would they even do with that? They probably just threw them away, I guess. So unfortunately, after this whole incident, Clara Robertson ended up a little bit troubled, as people say. And she actually lived on Adams Avenue, which is near like the Victorian Village and Woodruff Fontaine and all those buildings I've talked about before. And supposedly she started practicing spiritualism and just dabbling into some things, understandably, since she went through, you know, seeing a ghost and going through seances and being possessed and all that stuff. It makes sense that she would kind of get into that stuff. But she started drifting away from her friends and just kind of away from everyone. And she ended up marrying a 72-year-old widower, a 72-year-old widower, when she turned 18. And eventually, unfortunately, she died later on of tuberculosis. Now, this story supposedly gained so much fame that Clara actually received letters from Queen Victoria and President Grant. And because of all of this that happened, the kind of scandal, I guess you would say, the college did close after this. The building then became different things over time and eventually was dismantled, unfortunately, so it's not there anymore. Now, on the spot where the home was, there's now a warehouse there. It's the Wurzburg Brothers warehouse, and supposedly it is haunted, which of course it would be. Okay, so that is the end of this story. That one was a little longer and a little bit like crazy. I hope you guys enjoyed it though. What did you guys think of it? Do you think it's true? Do you think it's not? Do you think it's a little bit too strange to be true? What do you guys think? Or if you're a local, have you heard of this story? So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you have a wonderful day or night or whatever time it is when you're watching this video, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Tomorrow, I've actually got 2 videos for you guys because I skipped I skipped last Sunday, I think, because I needed a day. I had a band gig the night before. So tomorrow is a twofer, a 2-for-1. So in the afternoon, I'm gonna have part 4 of the story that I've been reading on this channel, the series I've been reading. Part 4 is coming tomorrow, and then tomorrow night I'm gonna upload the video that you've all been waiting for, or most of you have been waiting for, the Elvis and Graceland video. It's gonna talk about activity that's happened at Graceland specifically, and it's also gonna talk about different ghost sightings of Elvis, not just at Graceland, but other places, because he's been seen a lot of places, not even just in Memphis. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. I'm so excited for Halloween, you guys. I hope you are too, and I will see you in tomorrow's videos. Have a great night. Thanks for watching. Bye.